We should be live. Let me make sure we're live. And we're live. Sup everyone? One Piece chapter 1053 reaction, not reaction, review, conversation, whatever you wanna call it. Before we start, let me introduce our panel of this evening. Weeb, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, looking forward to discussing this chapter.
This was a doozy one.
Yep.
Ducklink, you fucking made it. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, this was a pretty good chapter to talk about this week.
Mm-hmm. Let me make sure where is Zero, because I know Jubei is not coming. Zero, you coming? So, boy oh boy, where to even begin with this chapter? Okay, so let's just jump right into it. Oh, I am so intimidated I don't even know where to start by the beginning or end. Okay, so let's just jump at the end. Four emperors, two new emperors confirmed, and two are out. Big Mom Kaido are out, and Luffy is in, and then you have another
Hmm.
one. So here is how it happened for me. I was scrolling on Twitter, and I seen the picture. I just thought it was fabricated, cause there is shit ton of fake pictures of Sash. I actually retweeted you guys with one that is about this chapter. Like, if we get this type of person with this chapter that I'm about to show you, you guys seen it, the chapter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about the One Piece chapter. I'm talking about the fan-made
Yeah.
chapter.
I,
Okay,
I know what you mean.
okay.
Yeah.
Darklink, you saw it?
Nope. I didn't see the fan made one.
Okay, so go to Anime Squad and scroll up. It's literally there. Holy shit! Blah blah blah. Emperor of the Sea. So Buggy is the new emperor, and if he's going to be a comic relief, I don't want him to be that. I want a more serious Buggy now.
You're not
I
gonna get
think I think we're done with comic relief.
Nah,
We don't need that.
we don't need it, but it's the way Oda is and
But it
the way
doesn't
Buggy
fit.
has always been.
But it doesn't fit. Okay, so how can you? So it's time to actually have a conversation how Oda did Big Mom dirty.
how.
What I mean by that is look at how he introduced Green Ball. No give a fuck attitude, literally killing people left and right. You would
This
expect.
goes back into that discussion we had last time when I was saying that Oda is basically going to write himself into a situation where every single new person that comes into the story is going to make everybody previous look like chumps. And as soon as Green Bull comes in, he beats King and Queen like there was nothing, and we just had this big struggle against them. So it's like,
He didn't even struggle 1 inch open. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but to be fair, they were beaten and bruised already, and they were
No,
probably in Sea Stone's stuffs because they were in the prison.
no. Even
true.
even th- even if they were in full health, he would destroy them with ease. I think, from the look of it, he really
Nah, I
seemed
don't
to be
think so.
strong. No. He genuinely seemed to be strong. He didn't even break
Well,
a sweat.
of course he's strong. He's an admiral. I mean, admirals are probably just below Yonko level, and maybe can match with high level officers in the Yonko crews. But I mean, I don't think he would have had as easily if he couldn't directly challenge the Beast Pirates if they were at full strength. No, most definitely not.
Wait, you don't think he could have challenged the big pirate if he were in full strength?
No, I don't think so. I think the problem is like take Queen for example, who uses viruses and like those kind of things. I mean, it clearly looks like that his powers is a plant-based power. It would have worked against him too. So I mean, it's just a bad matchup in terms of the situation they're in, which is obviously where they're gonna try to create the tension because you can also see that Luffy and Zoro are still bandaged up. So this is sort of where the tension is going to come from. Yeah, is he going to be a threat because they're tired from fighting Kaido and Big Mom? To which I would say, yeah, I don't think so because the biggest problem there would be like if you're a Yonko, it doesn't fucking matter if you're just came out of a tough fight. You're not gonna be taken down by an admiral. So I don't think that it's gonna go how he thinks it's gonna go. Obviously he's not gonna get Luffy's head because for because he has plot armor literally. Um, but yeah, I mean, the question is, yeah, where is this going to go? Because yeah, it would be kind of meaningless if he just shows up, gets beaten, and or has to flee, and nothing changes really. And yeah,
More
that's yeah.
more likely it's going to go the route that he's going to reach Luffy and Zoro and everybody. He's going to have some type of reaction with Zoro being the whole rumor that Green Bull is supposed to be related to Zoro. And now that we see Green Bull actually has a sword too. So now everybody's going to put Zoro has to have some type of interaction with Green Bull because green hair has a Wano name and he has a sword. So more likely, Oda is probably going to go that route and have some type of way that Zoro and Green Bull are some type of connection together, and they're going to fight, and some way Luffy them is going to escape. But I don't know. It's like this still feels too rushed. Like it should have been flushed out more. But I understand One Piece has been going on for so long that it's time for him to just end it. But at the same time, it's like I wish you would flush this out a little bit more, and like go back into like explain to who Green Bull is, like some type of thing like that. Not just bam, here's Green Bull, and bam, here's his powers, and he's just finna do something badass right away.
So, um, Luffy. So here's the thing. Apparently, 7 days have passed since the fight. Uh, uh, is it fair to say that Luffy and all of them are at full strength now?
I
Are
don't know.
they
I
brand
mean,
new?
Probably
well,
so since they eaten and they've had rest, and now they're partying, so they're probably at full strength. Because we all know the trope with Luffy. As soon as he eats a whole bunch of food, he magically becomes 100% again.
yeah, I don't think necessarily because of the because they show they're still in bandages, so that might be like telegraphing, okay, they're not at full strength yet, so that's why this could be there's tension there, right? Because I don't think you could sell that admiral at this point. A single admiral will be a threat to not only to Luffy and his crew, but to basically the three pirate crews, the pre-alliance that brought down the two Yonko, the samurai, the Minks. I mean, there's no fucking way that one admiral can take them all out on full strength, because we've already had that, right? I mean, we had that with Aokiji and with Kizaru previous pre time skip, right? Uh, that they were such a threat that you couldn't stand up to them on your own, and it didn't matter if you had your full crew or all the supernovas in one place. It didn't matter. But post time skip, where Haki is the great equalizer, that means that you can actually deal with Logia users. Uh, yeah, that changes things. So I don't think that he could take everybody on full strength. The question, yeah, is indeed, are we supposed to believe that they have they're not at full strength, they're still recovering, and therefore, people might be in trouble.
Hey, that's the crazy thing. That's the exact discussion that we had last time I was on when I was saying the whole thing about Oda writing himself into corners with the power levels of the enemies and stuff. That like you done went through this whole thing with Haki, Conqueror's Haki, Luffy supposed to have evolved and everything like that. It's going to make no sense at all if any enemy from this point forward hurts Luffy without some type of Conqueror's Haki ability or power. The only way you're going to be able to do it is if you somehow nerf Luffy and make him like vulnerable, hurt, in a
Hmm.
weakened state,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden explain, oh, that's how Luffy got hurt. Because if he's at full strength, nope, nothing should be able to really damage him, Zoro, or just like anybody on the crew after what they just went through and after what Oda just explained that Supreme Conqueror's Haki is the be all end all of all power levels. So now every enemy moving forward has to be even stronger than Kaido to actually do any damage to Luffy. So it's going to be a bunch of ass pulls. Like all of a sudden, every enemy we get is just going to be this, oh my God, God level power. And if
Yeah,
they're not that God level power, you just made that whole Kaido fight pointless.
it
If you have any enemy that's weaker than Kaido coming up, fight a full health Luffy, and he actually hurts Luffy or do anything, you just made every struggle that Luffy just went through to get the Sun God Nika and everything like that pointless.
it it also makes zero sense how Fujitora and Green Ball are on the same level. By the look of it, they're not, unless Oda pulls what's called almost like a retcon and makes Fujitora stronger. Remember, Fujitora was fighting on the level of Flamingo. He didn't come over as stronger than Flamingo.
In that instance, I think it was just a ploy. He didn't want to use his full power or fight. Remember, during that whole incident with Don Flamingo, and he was ordered not to really interfere. We didn't see him go full power or anything. Even when he fought Sabo, he was still holding back because he
But
didn't
he
want
fought,
to like
but he fought
damage
against
everything.
law. He was fighting against law.
Yeah, but
So,
when he was fighting
so,
against Law,
so you think,
he was fighting Law just to capture him in like a remote island far away from the
so,
people and everything like that. And he even said, I don't want to do this, but I have my orders.
okay, so then listen to what I'm about to say. What if Oda already realized he have written himself in a corner and he actually found a way to wiggle his way out of it? Let me explain. You just you didn't give an excuse. You just said it how it is. That we never seen Fugitora full strength. Yeah, that's number one. And let's be real. We never seen Weeble full strength. So
No,
we never seen Kong full strength. What if when he introduced them, they are all going to be on the level of Hokkaido or above? Not per se in such, but just have different power, different capabilities, and stuff like that.
well,
It,
you know my thoughts on Weeble. Him, I still think he's a fraud. I think he's physically powerful, but his mom is just using his so-called
Oh yeah,
Whitebeard's
I
son as a thing to get high.
I think I
Kong,
think I
I can
think
see him actually being that strong at if he ever fights because of his title and everything like that and his whole personality and mannerism, he might actually be like the Monkey King or something like that. Devil Fruit. So I
I
can see
actually
that
think
happening.
I actually think a hunch. This is a hunch. I believe Weevil joined Buggy.
I was actually going to get to that. One of the reasons why how I think Buggy became an emperor, he actually recruited somebody so freaking strong, and he's basically using
Weevil,
the people that he recruited as his hype man, as his hype meter. If I
Weevil.
have this person such and such that's so super strong under me, that means I'm even stronger than him. So
Yep.
he's going around acting like he's feeling badass, but he hasn't really like gained like any real physical power himself.
Okay.
But he has people under him now that's like crazy strong.
What if? So here's the thing. Did you see the picture, the fan made photo that I sent you?
Yeah, I just saw it in the chat.
Okay. So what you thought on getting this type of buggy?
No,
I wouldn't make that type of buggy, but I don't
never.
think Oda would do it because of the years that he's put into just making Buggy the big meme of them. Buggy
He's
is almost the
completely
exact same thing as Usopp.
1% at a time, please. But the difference is Usopp is not an Yonko. That's a different.
No, no, what I mean by Buggy is the same as Usopp. He's whatever meme, whatever lie that they tell eventually becomes true. Buggy is the biggest capper in the whole series. He
So
pretends that he's super strong because of his name and his reputation, everything like that. But whenever he fights someone, he's not really that powerful. But we have seen him though, when he has like pushed himself to the limit at one time when he was fighting Luffy, and we see him in the flashback. So we know Buggy does have that in him.
he
So he
can fight.
can actually possibly, yeah, that's what I was about to say. So it can be possible that he actually did turn into a real badass
And remember, he can
and
have
drop the whole
awakening.
clown thing.
Remember, he can literally have awakening, and that can literally be what we've seen. Like, imagine this buggy with that devil fruit. Like, he's broken. He,
Yeah,
if you have you ever watched Fairy Tail?
Yeah.
He remind me of Mystigon from Fairy Tail. No, not Mystigon. Gildart from Fairy Tail
Uh,
with that cube, kind of like that in a way. I'm gonna go to you, Weeb.
well, Shanks is actually modeled off of Gil. Well, not they're interchangeable. Shanks and Guildhearts are basically mirrors of each other.
Well, Gildart is literally a photocopy of Shanks, so
Yeah,
copy
that's
and
what I'm
paste.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Whichever one came second, I forgot. Guildhearts was modeled off after Shanks.
yeah, he is model. You're like a blind person can see that. Weeb, what your thoughts on what we were talking about, especially
uh,
concerning Buggy? Because I thought you
well,
wanted to say something.
first of all, I don't agree that Gildar is a copy of Shanks. I mean, a lot of characters resemble each other. I mean
Dude,
that's kind of the whole thing.
dude,
No, I don't agree with that. I mean, you can try to see this as a conspiracy theory, but nah. But about Bucky suddenly being having an awakening and shit, nah. Bucky's still the clown, and like you guys said, he probably got support from maybe indeed what's his name,
Weevil.
um, Lethal, yeah, or somebody else. That he's borrowing strength again, and
Mihawk?
he is
No, Mihawk
uh,
would never join him. No.
Mihawk only goes alone. But that's what's going to be. I mean, he's a clown. He's the luckiest person in the entire Well, maybe besides Luffy, but probably one of the most luckiest persons in the entire One Piece universe. He just falls into it. He falls upwards. That's Buggy's MO. Now he
But
didn't get an awakening. He's the first person in this universe who became a Yonko purely by bluffing his way into it.
but
Yep, like I
how
said, the
can
biggest capper.
how can the world government be that stupid? How can they
Because
be
I
that
figure,
stupid?
I
they
figure
made him
Bucky
a
might have actually.
Chichibukai.
1% at a time, please. We're gonna start with you, Dark Link.
I figured Bucky might have actually found a crazy powerful treasure, and he using that against the world government. So they made him. Like had no choice but to make him an emperor or something like that. Because remember his whole backstory and everything like that. He was looking for a certain map and a certain treasure to, and he's always been looking for that thing. And Luffy gave him the map for whatever he was looking for, and then we never heard about him going after that whatever treasure that was. So I figured Oda may have finally said, "Oh, Buggy finally found that one treasure that he wanted all those years ago, and whatever it is, that's what prompted him to be able to recruit new people that's super strong, and he's just using their power as his like, oh, I'm super strong too."
Weave?
I mean, I again, I mean, I think he just got lucky. I don't think he got. Here's the thing, it's not necessarily um, the yeah. I mean, the world government is not necessarily the brightest in that regard because they made. I mean, they made Buggy a Chichibukai, even though he was weak as hell. But because of his reputation and where he came from, and the pirates that were supporting him, they gave him that title. I think there's, I mean, if he has people under him that are on the level of Yonko, uh, you know, officers, then he has that power. I mean, it's completely dependent on his ability to bullshit way through it, but still, he has that power. I mean, remember he had the new giant pirates and who now became part of the Grand Strahd pirate fleet were working for him. So that's, I think, entirely. It doesn't matter that he's weak as hell personally. He has that power in terms of soldiers and military power that they've
Or
made
he has
him
money.
nothing. Money doesn't matter. I mean,
No,
you
no, I
can't buy.
mean money to buy the power. Remember, if you're the richest, you can really be pretty much do anything you want. So what if he found a treasure that's like super make him super rich? He can
Yeah,
bribe anybody he wants to join his crew. So it's
yeah,
still
but
I'm still agreeing with you. I'm still 100% agreeing with you, saying that yes, everything you just said, I agree with. I'm just saying, what if in order for him to gain that power that you're saying, he used money instead of him using his own physical power and everything like that, saying, "Oh, he's stronger and everything like that." I just bribe you. I just give you all the money you want and promise you whatever treasure you want. Just be on my side, be a part of my crew.
yeah, but that's the thing. He's too greedy for that. He wants all the money for himself. So I'd
He's
say
a
that
liar.
yeah,
Remember, he lied to his entire crew, told them that he was going to give them money and power and riches and everything like that. And what did we find out? He was lying to his entire crew this entire time. Only a certain few of his crew members actually knows the real him. Everybody else think he's going to give them. He's this rich person. He's going to give them this money, and then he was like, "Nope, I'm just going to throw a grenade at you."
yeah, but they worship him because they think he's a gift from heaven, right? I mean, he completely, because of happenstance and because of his ability to his way through it, he has managed to make himself a Chichibukai, which is completely ridiculous. And now this is Oda, right? He when let's say the stakes get higher, he throws in a wrench there with Buggy suddenly being propelled on the world stage, like he it was supposed to be irrelevant after they abolished Chichibukai and he was being chased by the Marines. For all intents and purposes, they should have caught him. It should have been over for him. But for some reason, he managed to become a Yonko. I mean, that's typically Oda.
Mm,
I'm
um,
interested in how he's going to explain this.
I am actually more interested in Luffy. What I mean by that is, what is the reaction going to be when he's gonna see his own picture at Gear 5?
He already
Remember,
did.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. He
remember,
hasn't seen
yeah,
that yet.
but I'm pretty sure his focus is going to be on the news. Later, when he actually see how his hair is literally white. Remember,
You
his
know, I was just about to say, I did notice that, you know how most of the time in other animes and something like that, when the main protagonists have this crazy powerful transformation, and when they pass out and when they wake up, they're like, I don't remember how I looked or what happened or that power. Luffy hasn't one time been like, I don't remember fighting
but
Kaido or being in that certain power state.
we have
So
yet
he
to
was
have
he conscious of his fifth power, his
we
fifth
have
gear?
yet to sit down
I
with him
I
and
think
have that conversation about it, which is going to
Yeah, that's
happen
why.
when
Yeah,
Green
that's why I'm like,
Ball comes around.
does
That's
he
when we're
actually
gonna
know
see.
he has that?
Well, it depends.
he
When Green
knows.
Ball,
He knows.
go ahead, Wave. I'll go after you.
No, it's obvious that he knows. I mean, he was fully conscious when that happened, and I mean, he saw the, yeah, okay, sure, he was looking at the reward, but he still saw the picture. And normally, when people have like when Goku turns Super Saiyan, right? He's not like when he sees a picture of yeah, I'm not sure if that happened, but when he looks in the mirror, like he's surprised that he suddenly has golden hair. I mean, they're aware of that. We have to assume that they're aware of that. It's not,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
I just realized, yeah, it's the way Oda wrote it because normally you would have after the character has this big transformation, they'll have an explanation of like, oh, I did this, I went into this state, I can only be in this state for so long. And so far, we haven't even had a moment where we sat down with Luffy and he's like talked to somebody, like somebody came and said, "Hey, Luffy, what was that transformation that you did when you beat Kaido?" We haven't had that moment yet, so yeah, I see what you mean.
Yes. So here is the thing. Then remember, we have yet to see any consequences from Luffy turning Gear 5. Aside from him almost like drying out at the fight with Kaido, what if? Oh, I was about to say, what if Luffy was gonna try fight Green Ball, but he couldn't use his rubber fruit. But no, he already did when he hugged what's his name, Kid. So then the next thing become, what if he couldn't transform into any of his gears, and he needs a long time, period of time. Zoro and Sanji are not gonna be helpful. I'm sorry, Zoro shouldn't be even moving, not even after 7 days. He should still be suffering from. Otherwise, this feels like a cop out. Remember when what's called Zoro has that nothing happened moment. For the next period of time, he was still suffering from that. Even when he fought against Kizaru and what's called, he was wounded. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So, and if you tell me that this was supposed to give him an even harsher pain that made him feel like he was dying, you need to see consequences of that. Okay. So here's the thing. I understand Oda wanna be funny. I understand Oda wanna keep the story moving, but this is Endgame. You're supposed to have consequences. Something like what Green Ball did. That's consequences. That's what I want. The story needs to go into a darker turn before it goes into a happy turn.
I mean, it's
This,
already darker as it is because we've now, a lot of people died during this battle that
oh yeah,
normal, I mean, we don't generally see that so many people. I mean, yeah, it's already
but
has become darker since the events of the Paragon War, where Ace and Whitebeard died. So I mean, there have
Death
been
wise, this is the most bloodiest of all the arcs.
yeah,
a
but
lot of people died, and look at Kiku sitting there smiling, and her brother is literally dead.
yeah, I mean, she is dealing with it in a way that that she thinks he wanted. And the thing is, of course, not everybody deals with grief in the same way. So that
Is that not a cop? Is
Yeah,
that not almost like a cop
but
out?
they kind of explained that. They kind of explained what happened. They said, remember when they said Yamato did the summarize, right? The 7 days of no eating, no drinking, and to mourn the death of someone. They kind of said that that's what all the scabbers did when Kawamatsu was talking. So more
Okay,
likely Kiku did the exact same thing, the 7 days of no drinking, no eating, and to mourn the death of his brother.
okay. A night gesture. Oshiku with what's his name? Kinemon being together. That was a good, nice moment. I like that. I think her name is Oshiku, Kinemon wife. They are
Yeah.
yeah, they are together with drinking and toasting and stuff like that. That was a nice gesture. Um, Kawamatsu survived, right?
Kawamatsu survived.
Yeah.
Ashura
It,
Doji died.
Ashura Doji and Izo died. And also, there were three medical uh, uh, teams. You had Chopper, you had, what's his name, Marco, and you had uh, that
The,
mink.
the mink
That
doctor.
mink. Yep. So that would have prevent a lot of death. Like keep. Oh, and don't forget Law. Law the what's called
Yep.
is it?
Laws of surgeon.
Yep, Law the surgeon. So that would have prevented a lot of death. Um, talking about Marco, do you think he's gonna intercept Greenbow next chapter?
I can see Marco sacrificing himself to get Luffy to let Luffy and the crew escape somehow. I don't know if he would just be like just intercept Green Bull out first, but I can see him sacrificing himself to let them escape somehow.
Do you think Marco is stronger? Not Marco. Do you think Zoro? Not Zoro. Do you think everyone in there is strong enough to counter Greenbow?
Healthy? Yes. Injured? No.
I believe they're not, but I'm curious what you guys think, Weeb.
yeah, I mean, we already discussed that. Again, when they're full health, they should easily be able to deal with an Admiral with all the strength they have there. So the question is, are we going to use the excuse that they're all still injured and fatigued? That there's going to be, that there's going to be tension. There's going to be a threat from having to face an Admiral. But again, I can't really see it because that would be repeat basically of the you know the whole thing with when they first met Aokiji, like they couldn't do anything, which I sincerely doubt. I mean, at this stage, I mean, at the levels they are, I cannot imagine that this is going to go as it's going to be a win for the Marines. I think, but yeah, the again, and that's fortunate that we have now a break for 4 weeks with basically a cliffhanger. Like, yeah, what's going to happen? Because we can conceive that he's just going to beat them. Um, but on the other hand, it also can be that he's just going to retreat and oh, I can beat him. I'm gonna run away. Yeah, then nothing really happened, and the only thing he did was maybe take out the remainders of the Beast Pirates, and essentially he's just there, sort of the cleanup crew, effectively, to make sure that there's no returning threat from the if they ever escaped or whatever. I mean, there's got to be something, right? There's got to be some, as you said, some consequence of this. But it's kind of hard to imagine that it's just going to be, oh yeah, I mean, we all have to run away from Admiral. I don't think at this point that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to need to run away from the Admiral at the level they are.
They are not. I don't think even all of them combined are not ready, are not capable of beating Green Bull. I don't think so. I don't think they're healthy enough.
Uh,
7 days is not enough to recover from a fight against Kaido.
yeah, I mean that's why I said that's why Oda and maybe emphasize that they still have bandages, so like they're supposed to still be injured. But yeah, on the other hand, I mean, if you're
Bro, they still
young,
had the bench niggas sleeping.
Sorry?
hmm?
Remember they said Zoro and Luffy was asleep for 7 days. Everybody else been awake the whole time. So they had basically nurses bandaging them up. And then Sanji got really, really jealous once he heard that one of the beautiful people was touching Zoro every single day. So Oda kind of used that as like a gag at the same time, where hey, the reason why Luffy and Zoro haven't been shown for 7 days is because those who was the most injured that day was asleep, and now
Yeah.
that they're awake, the first thing they say is meat and booze, and
Hmm.
then they say and then explain, oh, how are you guys so clean that you guys are so clean and everything, and one of I forgot who it was, I think it was Kaido's Yamato said, "Oh, I washed their body for 7 days." And then Sanji was super pissed off. Was like, "What? How dare you know?"
I don't think it was Yamato. It was what's her name?
Yeah, I don't know if it was
No,
it was some pretty
no,
girl, and
no,
as
that's
soon as she
Momo's
said
sister.
that, Sanji got super pissed off.
It was Momo's sister. What's her name? The
Oh,
the
yeah, it was her, Komarasaki.
yeah, because she has a thing for
Yeah.
Zoro.
Mhm. As soon as Sanji heard that, he got super pissed off. So Luffy and Zoro, the reason why they still got the bandages on them is because they were been asleep for 7 days, and she kept wrapping them up and cleaning their body. So they could
Yeah,
necessarily be healed and healthy and everything like that. They just still got the bandages
yeah.
because that's what she was putting on them.
I don't know because they could have easily removed them then because they were I don't know.
I don't think
I
they had time because remember, soon as the first thing Luffy, soon as he woke up, the first thing he did scream meat, and then they just started bringing, dumping food in him. And the first thing Zoro, as soon as he woke up, he's like he's screaming, "Booze, give me liquor," and that's what they was doing. So I think like as soon as they woke up, bam, they just had a party. They just had a banquet right then and there. They ain't waste no time in giving them food.
it could be, but no. Every time we've seen them in bandages was sort of the highlight that they were still injured. So I
Remember,
don't know.
Impel Down? Remember Impel Down when he was in the cave and he woke up, he was screaming meat, and they was literally just throwing meat inside the cave, and he walked out with the super belly, and then all of a sudden he was 100% healed.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, but
it's the
yeah,
same
but
situation.
yeah, but he wasn't fully healed there because he was still recovering, and in the end, like because he had like this hormone shot, right? He could like Ivankov could give him one time again at great risk a sort of a doping shot, but if he fell down again, it would be over. So there were still consequences of his injuries. So I don't know if we can read this as just being a gag. I hope so, but again,
It's
I
kind
think
of like he even did it in Alabaster. It's kind of like a running gag that Oda does whenever Luffy finishes a super big, powerful fight. He gets bandaged up, and the first thing he does when he wakes up, he wants food, and they have like a party right after whatever big event that they had.
and of course, but we've also seen like with Zoro, for example, as Omar mentioned that when he got there's a couple of times where he got seriously injured and there were still consequences, like when he faced Arlong's crew after he was injured by Mihawk, but also after he got injured by Bartolomeu Kuma, right? He was severely um, damage after that. So I mean, that's a great example, right? Because there they had to fight the Chichibuka just after they defeated one, and they were completely overpowered. But yeah, I think the difference there is that at that point in time, yeah, they could barely defeat the Chichibukai, and here, they are on a completely different level now. I mean, sure, not all of
Hmm.
them are, but they just beat two Yonko at full strength with their entire pirate crew. I mean, I don't think it would be really cheap if now suddenly, yeah, they had to run away or they had. I mean, that's the entire point, right? Because Luffy
Sad to say, but
never.
that's the way Oda's gonna do it.
I don't think so because Luffy's entire point is he became strong, so he never had to do that again. That's the entire point where like, he developed second gear and third gear after being defeated by Aokiji. That he never wanted to experience that again, right? And
Like
now,
I'm with you and everything. Like I want Luffy to be that. I don't. I'm so powerful now after all the experiences. Like I'm 100% with you at that. I want Oda to write Luffy to be that way to show character growth. Like I'm no longer that little kid that was scared that would run away from instead of defend myself. So I want him to be like that. But I have a feeling that Oda is still gonna put Luffy in a situation where he's gonna run away
Yeah, he
instead
can.
of standing up and fighting Green
yeah,
Bull.
But
When
wait, wait,
at
wait.
this point in the story, wait, I'm saying like at this point in the story, there is no reason Luffy should run away. There is no reason that the crew should flee from Green Bull. He
But
just
how you
got
gonna
to
deal
be
with Green
Kaido
Ball
and Big
then?
Mom.
How do you gonna deal
That's
with
what I'm
Green
saying.
Ball then?
That's what I'm saying.
I, I,
Even injured right now, there's still no reason for Luffy to run away. Even
yeah,
injured
But I
from
don't
all that he
see.
just went
but
through
he
and
won't.
his power, he should be able to beat Green Bull or at least fight him and
I
make Green Bull run away.
I don't
But
see Luffy. 1 second, wait. I don't see Oda starting another war right now. This is now the calm period. I don't think next chapter we're gonna see Green Ball fight attacking. I am expecting something to happen. Maybe
yeah, I
Robin
think so
would
too. Yeah.
announce that. Okay, go ahead, Weep, and then I would say what I want to say.
Well, no, I think that there's two ways. I think about Alkanem because they're not gonna run away because this means imagine a Yonko running away from him. Well, that's not gonna happen. What's gonna happen is either of two things: either they're gonna beat his ass, and that could be. I mean, you're thinking like, okay, never gonna happen because they're injured and it's an admiral, and we just showed how badass he is when dealing with the the beast pirates. But I mean, this could also be development. Like, okay, last time we faced an admiral, we were completely defeated. Now we're facing an admiral after just taking down Yonko. We're exhausted, and we're gonna beat his ass. And sort of could be solidifying his position as a Yonko, right? That's one possibility. The other is that something indeed happens. I mean, he's sort of positioned as being a bit of a hardliner, somebody who's in agreement with Sakazuki. So it's hard to imagine that he's going to just let them go out of the kindness of his heart. But there could also be some sort of development where he, it's kind of stupid if he's somehow related to Zora. I think that's a bit of a cop out theory. But if something like that happens, or he, I don't know, for some really silly reason decides to, maybe, I mean, I had a theory that he might be, part of Swords. I don't know if that, I mean, could still be true, but it seems unlikely. But something is going to happen, maybe that in the end, they're not going to have an all-out fight, and he's going to decide differently. But yeah, remember, there's also one other issue that's brought forthright in this chapter, that Pluton is on Wano.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
it's actually on Wano. It's not like information. It's actually in Wano, and he's about to meet her too.
That. Do you think Robin can make Green Ball run away with that weapon? If that's the case, what is that weapon? Because it's not a battleship. I don't think it's a battleship. That battleship is almost like a ploy, I believe.
I think it's actually ship, because remember, like the Buster Call is also just basically 5 Admiral ships. So it does show that can be sort of a super weapon in the One Piece world. So imagine a massive ship with incredible firepower and can blow up islands. Maybe with nuclear level firepower. Yeah, I can imagine that.
I think it's going to be either Zanisha or Momo. Either one of the. I think it's gonna be Momo. You gonna see a correlation between Momo and Shuahoshi?
Nah, I don't think so.
It makes sense. When have we ever seen what's called weapon ever? We never seen one. We always heard about it from Fable, Legend.
No. I have to correct you. There were actual blueprints of a ship that Frankie had. So
I
established that Pluton is a ship. I don't think we can just. It's a metaphor. You don't make blueprints.
Yeah, Pluton is a ship. Yeah, Pluton is a ship. That was the main reason why the world government wanted to capture Frankie, because he was the only living person that actually has the blueprints to the Pluton ship.
Where can you hide a ship like that big? And how come, what's his name, Kaido have never found it?
This is well hidden.
Because of the Kozuki Roar's family only knows about it. And also, as far as Kaido knew, all the Kozukis was gone.
Also, let's say they find the battleship. What's gonna happen? Luffy's gonna take it? Or is it gonna
be the new Sunny?
Sorry?
So it could be the new Sunny.
I actually, believe it or not, I actually thought about that, but I don't think Oda would ever do that. For one simple reason. Sunny is way too beloved.
Unless it can become a new one.
Unless they... I'm not saying... I don't believe Oda will ever allow Straw Hat to use a weapon of mass destruction. I don't think he will ever allow them to, because they are quote unquote a good guy. Remember?
Yeah.
So,
well, I'd say it has to, with all the stories about it and the build up, it may have to actually at some point be revealed and become a threat to the world, because otherwise, it's all just, we're talking about how dangerous it is, and we're never going to see it. So I'd say that that might be the thing that maybe will turn Greenbowl around. Like, oh, wait, found that Pluton is here, so that changes the plans, right? And they're going to try to get it, and maybe that's going to be sort of the threat that the world government is going to, yeah, finally get an ancient weapon, finally get Pluton, and gonna try to, bring everybody under their control by, hey, if you, it's basically a Death Star, right? They're gonna say, if you don't fall in line, we're gonna blow up your island.
There could be another way too. I was gonna piggyback off of what Omar said. Momo could actually probably step up and just stop Green Bull right there in his
How?
track. Because
Nah.
we forget Momo is now the shogun of the entire country.
Yeah, but he's
He's
not.
basically a king.
But he's
He
not.
can use he can use his authority though to kick Green Bull out because remember the world government and Wano do not have an alliance together.
Dude.
So Momo
Dude.
can actually remove him from the island if he wants.
Dude.
I'm just saying that that's
No,
one way he
listen
can
though.
actually do it if he
If
ever
no, if
use his authority.
listen. One, Momo is not strong. Momo is weak as fuck. Two, if
No. I'm not saying physically strong. I'm saying he can use his authority as the ruler
okay,
of
yeah,
the
so
country.
that would even be even worse. Let me explain why. Remember what happened with Arabasta?
Hmm.
They didn't want people to find out that Luffy is friend with what's her name? Vivi. Otherwise, the world government would have attacked what's called Alabasta. Now imagine that, but time 20. I think something major happened outside the country. I mean, in the One Piece world, to the
By
point.
the way,
Let me
but
explain. To
And
the
that
to the
yeah,
point where they
okay,
don't even have any single marine to help them. Of world government to help them. Remember, at the very end, Greenball saying, "You guys are having a party, but you have absolutely no idea the mess you created outside." And
yeah.
he said, "Bring me a battleship." Even before he was talking to what's his name, Kid and Queen. He said, "We don't have enough manpower to handle you guys." So him going in, he was the last option, and Akainu didn't
He's
order him to
disobeying
go.
going in though.
Akainu didn't order him to go in exactly. However, he is rogue. He's going in on his own, but he doesn't have any support. Yeah, he's gonna get his
And
battleship, but
and that's how Momo could actually use that's exactly my point right there, Omar. He is breaking rules. He's going there on his own and everything. And remember the whole dynamic between Wano and the world government. The world government sees Wano as hands off. Do not go in there causing any problems. Do not start any trouble. Kino even told him personally, do not go in there starting in trouble. So him going in there is breaking Kino's order and everything like that. If Momo actually uses his authority, and if the world government is actually like, we don't want to like whatever they have type of relationship they have, we said they don't want to disturb Wano.
they
So what?
they they
So
they don't have a relationship though. The
you're
whole point is
harboring a
one.
criminal. They would say
Oh,
you're
no,
harboring a criminal.
hold on. Wano is not part of the world government, so they have no
mm-mm.
relation. There is no
No,
jurisdiction there whatsoever. So
no, no,
he doesn't
no,
belong there.
no, no.
What?
What I was saying is, as far as not like having a relationship together. Every time one of the world government talk about one over there, like we don't know what's going on with that country. Hands off, don't touch
Yes,
them,
yes,
because
yes.
we don't know what's going on. So that's what I
They,
mean by when I say
Wano,
relationship.
they
They
knew
don't
what's
want
going
to bother
on.
them.
No, they knew what was going on. Of course, they knew that Kaido that was Kaido's base. So that was one reason. Another reason that all historically they never even before Kaido took over, they never interfered because they were strong. That's the samurai. They were on a different level. So of course they couldn't just
And
they
that
didn't know what was going on and couldn't just say take. Wano. They wanted to try to take Wano after Kaido was defeated, which was ruined by our big elephant friend. They wanted to take it, but they failed. Their entire ploy was spoiled. So, but but you're saying like he can't really. There's no point in Momo saying, hey, get out of my country, because he's not going to listen. He's there illegally anyway. He has no business being there. So
And
that's something.
that was my point. Like Momo can say that, and then wherever what happens somehow, some way, Akino would order him back and basically stop whatever rampage that he goes on. I'm
Yeah,
not saying
I know
Momo
what
will
you're
stop
saying.
him. I'm saying there could be a point where Momo actually like show his own growth, like him as a ruler using his authority. Is like, hey, stop. No, I'm the ruler of this country. I will protect this country. You cannot do whatever you want. This is Wano. But that's not really going to stop Green Bull if he's there to fight. But I'm just saying there could be a point where we can have a growth for Momo as a ruler, because they keep saying that Momo is going to be known as the greatest shogun of his era or whatever like that. So that could be one of
I think
the aspects of him becoming the greatest, that he actually managed to kick out the royal government from the country. He
well,
doesn't necessarily have to
yeah,
do it,
I,
but he could
I
get the credit
get
for
what
doing
you're
it.
saying. I get what you're saying, and it would be an interesting idea that, but then you would say that he has to somehow step up and find a way, sort of negotiate with the world government. Like, if you don't get the
No,
fuck out of here,
no. He
then
doesn't
he
have to
gets.
do that at all. He only has to say that. He Momo could
No,
be
no,
a
no.
complete coward. He could be completely scared and everything like that. But if he gets that one little second where he stands up to him and basically says, "Get out of my country," at that point, right then and there, if anybody in the country sees that, he could be idolized as the great protector of Wano. Even if he doesn't lift a finger, Luffy could beat Green Bull, kick him out the country, kill him, do whatever. But Momo would still get the credit because he stood up to him and said, "Get out of my country." That's what I'm
Well,
saying. I'm not saying he's going to do anything. I'm not saying he's going to fight. He's going to do anything. I'm just saying there could be a point where Momo actually like shows some kind of courage and stuff, and he just stands up to him and say, "No, get out of my country. I'm the ruler of Wano. You would not do whatever you please." And that could like inspire the rest of the people as him become like this great shogun. But Luffy and his crew would be the one who actually kick Green Bull out of the country. But Momo would still get the credit because he's the ruler and he's now seen as the next Odin.
yeah, sure, but yeah, that wouldn't essentially resolve the immediate situation that he's still in the country at the moment. So I don't think
Mhm.
he's gonna be able to use his authority to remove him from this country. That's basically only after the fact that, like you said, he's gonna get credit for it. But
Yeah,
I wouldn't underestimate Momo per se, because you say he's weak, but he has apparently a very strong body. They've been saying that
I
for
don't.
for like
Yeah,
two chapters. So
yeah. It's
I'd
crazy.
say,
Momo has the body.
yeah. So I'd say at the very least, I'd say he probably, if he punched somebody, it probably would hurt. I mean, I'm not sure if his admiral level, or admiral would, well, they might be surprised if that turns out to happen. But again, I can't imagine that, yeah, that they're going to run away. That Green Ball. I mean, of course, he's an admiral. He's a threat, but that he's going to be a threat to the level that all of them combined can get him out of the country. And he's basically, yeah, his only motivation seems to be because he likes what Sakazuki is doing, but he wants to go a bit further, and he thinks he's going to get praise by taking down
I think
Luffy.
he's just a brute. I think he just likes to fight.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's
Yeah, I think he really
basically
doesn't care about all the other stuff. He just wants a strong opponent to fight.
I mean, he looks like basically like a biker, or a gang member. So his entire character design seems to suggest that he's really, the basically, a, yeah, a gangster with a badge, right?
Hmm Now the way I can see now the way I can see that Oda writes a way for Luffy them to run away, and I don't agree with it. I don't want it to happen. I don't like it, but I can see a way that Green Bull comes, he starts some trouble, and somehow, some way, Luffy and his crew is still hurt.
But
Robin is doing what she's doing, and then Marco sacrifices himself. He basically throws his body into fire to fight Green Bull to slow him down, and he tells Luffy them to run away,
hold
and
up,
that's what happens.
hold up.
I don't want that
Remember,
to happen, but I
hold
can
up.
see that could possibly happen.
Remember, Kid and Law are there.
Yeah, but they're all gonna. It's complete. It's stupid. I know it's stupid,
Do you
but
think? Do
Oda
you
has
think
done this a
Kid?
bunch of times before.
Do you think Kid would run, especially
I
after
know
them? Yeah,
that's
go
the
ahead.
crazy thing. He shouldn't. There's literally no reason for Kid, Law, Luffy, nobody in that crew to run away from our admiral right now. But Oda will probably do that as to like hype up their admirals, or he just would just do it just to do it, just to be like that's just their personality. That's just the way Oda writes sometimes. And it's sad to say that, but that's just I can see him doing that. Be like, admiral shows up. Oh my God, we got to run away. We can't fight this admiral. Even though you just fought a Yonko and beat them, you shouldn't be able. You shouldn't be scared. You shouldn't run away. But he will. I got a feeling that he's going to do that, and he's going to make them run away for some stupid reason.
Mm, okay. So at the start of the chapter, anyone anything else you want to say, Weep, when it comes to this topic before I move to another topic?
Yeah, yeah. I think we have everything.
Go ahead, say what you want to say.
Yeah, I was just thinking if there was anything else, but yeah, basically most of it was yeah, Admiral and
No, there is, and I'm gonna get to it. It's just this topic. Are you done with it or no?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So at the start of the chapter, work, especially the Gorosei, didn't want it to get printed. One, that Luffy is a D, which makes no sense. We already knew that. And two,
Yeah, the whole world knows that.
that he is awakened. They didn't want people to find out. Why?
I don't necessarily think it's that he's awakened. I think it's the image, because
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
yeah.
yeah, I know. I'm saying like I don't think it's necessary that he doesn't. They don't want the world to know that Luffy has an awakened devil fruit. I think it's the way his face looks and the way his hair looks. Because
Precisely,
if anyone knows anything about the sun god in that world of
precisely.
One Piece, they will probably automatically pick up, oh my God, this Joy Boy, the sun god, he's back. So that's why I think why they didn't want that picture out like that. They probably just wanted an
Precisely.
old picture of Luffy.
Precisely. And I think Dragon is gonna be a person that knows all about Joy Boy.
And I think and the D obviously is connected to Joy Boy, so that's why they didn't want to have it
yeah.
in there.
Which make me wonder what Blackbeard's reaction going to be.
Well, it is interesting that they're now sort of polar opposites, right? Because Luffy is the sun god, and Blackbeard is darkness.
Mm-hmm. So
But
let's
you know
talk
what's the
about
crazy thing? They both basically represent the exact same thing. Freedom,
D.
liberation, and
Yep. So let's talk about it. Luffy versus Blackbeard. Is he ready?
no.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So let's go to Luffy fight against Kaido. Is it a feat or is it not a feat? Luffy tanking borrowed breaths and literally shake it off like it's nothing. When we seen borrowed breath literally destroying a mountain. Is it fair to
And
say? Sorry?
to be honest with you, I turned my brain off at that point The moment Luffy got the Looney Tune powers, like he was just
Yeah.
100% healing from every attack. I turned my brain off and just okay, this is what we're going for.
Okay, so then is that going to work against Blackbeard?
There's the challenge, right? Because Blackbeard can nullify his powers,
Yep.
and he
And
and he
also,
has level fruits. Yeah.
the main reason why I say no, he's not ready for Blackbeard right now because Blackbeard isn't ready for him. I think both of them have to go through another character growth, and Blackbeard himself haven't been through any kind of character growth since he fought Ace. So we're gonna, but
But Blackbeard has two devil
so we
fruits.
need, yeah, he has two
If they were
different fruits,
to
but
fight right
we
now,
haven't
who
seen
would win?
any power growth from him.
If they were to fight right now, who would win?
That's the point. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to say that because we haven't seen anything from Blackbeard. We've only seen Luffy get stronger, only seen Luffy's new feats and his new powers. We haven't seen a single thing from Blackbeard or his crew or anything to say if he even got stronger yet.
Well,
So if we
the
just go
question
by
is
right
also,
now,
the question is also because we're assuming Blackbeard is going to be the final opponent, but that may not be certain because it seems also that the world government and Eam is a main antagonist that could also be the end game, right? So the question is, is that going to be the final fight? I think so because of the way they've set up Blackbeard and probably obviously depends on whether you believe getting the One Piece is sort of the final part of the story, or if they're going to get it and then the final battle happens. That remains to be seen. But yeah, I mean, I think he's ready in the sense that he now has the power to deal with it. The only question is, does he need to have sort of another shot at refining Gear 5, fighting, I don't know, the world government, the Marines, before he can actually, like Omerson, we don't know what the side effects are. Do we have to go through that first before he can face Blackbeard? But yeah, I mean, even then, like, it's not going to be a straight line, right? If they're going to confront each other, he may first have to defeat some of his officers before he gets to Blackbeard.
it's the crazy thing. I actually think he's going to team up with Blackbeard before he ever fights Blackbeard.
No chance in hell. No chance in hell.
Let me explain
No.
how I think this because
No chance in
remember
hell.
Blackbeard. Let me tell you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Remember how Blackbeard is all about freedom and liberation, and basically he doesn't want to be controlled by the world government and everything like that. We know the world government has a head boss, a head person, Emu, who's basically really like the main evil of the entire world. What if Blackbeard wants to take him down, and Luffy ends up having to take him? Luffy ends up getting in a position where he has to take him down too. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. But at the end
No
of
chance in
everything, I'm just saying, after they take him down, then Luffy and Blackbeard have to fight each other because then it gets to a point where now you're the main threat of the entire world because you want to destroy stuff or you want to do this or that. That's completely opposite of what Luffy wants. So now now after they got rid of Emu, is Blackbeard versus Luffy, the final fight, the end game. Who's going to win? Whose ideal wins?
It feels too much like Naruto when in the end,
Right. But if we think of it this way, if we think of it the other way, where Luffy ends up fighting Blackbeard first before he deals with Emu, that's going to make the whole like the whole final fight not like worth the build up that you've been building up for years of Blackbeard versus Luffy. That's why I think at first they're going to take Emu down.
Those are not the only two options. They could be completely unrelated. That Luffy takes Emu down, with Blackbeard not actually participating, or maybe Blackbeard takes the world government down, and that's sort of where they set the stage for the final fight. I mean, the way that Blackbeard has been set up, there's no way in hell that he's just out there for to do the right thing, right? To all everything was
No, no,
for.
no, 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 no,
I
no, no. I wasn't saying that he was doing it for the right thing. I was saying Blackbeard was doing it for all the wrong reasons. They just end up lining up with each other. Blackbeard wants to get rid of Emu and the world government, everything, so that he can basically destroy the world and rebuild everything in his own image. That's not the right thing. That's the complete wrong thing. But
I,
at
I,
the same
I,
time,
I don't think he wants to destroy the world. I think he generally just wants to. He wants to be the Pirate King. That he has the same dream as Luffy, but he doesn't care, or he has no qualms about using whatever method he can to get there. Right. That's the difference between Luffy and him. But I don't see him. I mean,
I don't
I
think
don't
he wants
see
to
him
be Pirate King at all.
yeah, but I don't see him like joining forces with Luffy. And again, it's like Luffy would never do that because he blames him for what happened to Ace, right? Because in the end, he was the cause of it all, like because he captured Ace. But I don't see that happening. That they're actually would sort of bury the hatchet for
No, no,
uh
no, no. I
to
wasn't saying they bury the hatchet. No, no, no. When I was saying when they team, I said they basically have no choice but to team up with each other. It's not
No,
yeah, but
that they're going to fight with each other.
I
They're
don't
going
think
to
that's gonna
basically come to a point where one of them is fighting the emu, and then the other one has to. The other one is there too to fight emu, and
yeah,
they
but
just basically have no choice.
you do know that suggests then that emo is so powerful that they have no choice, and I
Exactly.
don't think that's going to happen because if we're going to say that Blackbeard is the final threat, then the way he's built up, he's not going to play second fiddle to another villain. That again, that's
And
basically what you're doing with.
that's his that point.
No,
That's
no,
it. That's exactly what I'm saying.
yeah, but that's the thing. You're basically that's essentially what Naruto did, right? Introduce like a ultimate big bad, have to cooperate to fight him, and then okay, we'll have the real final fight with each other. But that still means that the final like Emu would be the big bad, the ultimate villain that they have to team up defeat, and essentially the rest is a bonus fight, right? It's not actually the main fight. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that Emo is going to be defeated probably before any Blackbeard. I still agree that that's probably going to be the final fight with Blackbeard, but he's going to be built up such a point that he is essentially at the top, and that Luffy will have to defeat him to prevent him from becoming the Pirate King. I don't see him that they have to team up. I mean, either Luffy has to defeat Emu first and then fight Blackbeard, or Blackbeard will turn the tables on the world government and whatever plans they have. He and in the end, basically shove Emu down a hole, and they're like, yeah. You were on top all this time, but you had your plans. Like he's the Joker, right? You had your plans, and I just completely unwind them, and nothing what you did mattered because I or always was going to be on top. I don't see him. I don't see the sort of this team up. I don't because that would make Blackbeard weaker than Emu, and I don't think that's the way it's set up. I think he's going to be the final challenger. And yeah, no, don't forget that we see how you say yeah we don't have seen his growth, but we have to assume that because he became a Yonko, that he's on that level of a Yonko, that he's not um, he's not going to be defeated by somebody like
Well,
Kaido.
he could have became a Yonko just based off of what he did in the final war in the Marineford War. He took Whitebeard's powers, so in the world government eyes, he's technically one of the strongest
Well,
powers because he has
well,
that fruit power.
not exactly. What they said is because he knew the territory of Whitebeard because he was once a member of the crew. He quickly took over that territory, and that's sort of
No,
where
no, no. I mean,
that
no. I'm saying
comes.
power level wise, in the world government eyes, he has two devil fruits, and plus he has Whitebeard's fruit. So in their eyes, he's as strong as by default. He's as strong as Kaido, Big Mom. So when they're naturally picking the next pirate, next Yonkos, Blackbeard has to be the top of the list because he has Whitebeard's fruit. And in the world government's eyes, Whitebeard's fruit is still the strongest fruit.
Yeah, okay, but again, it's not just being young. It's not just about the power because there are plenty of powerful individuals. Like a Mihawk is a Chichibukai or was Chichibukai, but I mean he used to
But
fight
Mihawk does, but
Wu
Mihawk
Chang.
isn't that threat as like Blackbeard is with that Quake fruit. So they would never make Mihawk as Yonko because in the
Yeah, but
world government eyes, he's still not that big of a threat.
no.
But
I
to
just
Blackbeard,
I
he can
I
literally
say
shake the whole world.
Mihawk could be a Yonko if he want, but he doesn't have a crew. He is a solo player. He doesn't care for you know becoming a
I
Yonko. He
don't,
doesn't care
I
about
don't think having a
having.
crew at all means anything. I think literally
It
it's
means
just the
it
individual
means
power of
everything.
the
Sorry,
captain.
but it means no, it means everything because the whole point is that all these Yonka have their territories, right? They have their part of the new world is under their control. It's I
Yeah,
mean,
but the territories
if
that
you
they control are. I let you go ahead.
no, that's the whole point. The Yonko are they're called emperors, right? For emperors because they rule something, right? So it's not just about being a very powerful individual, uh, and certainly that can play a role. But the thing is, like, look at Buggy, right? I mean, yes, probably there's part of that is sort of a joke where they misunderstand his actual power, but there will be part of that that's because of the military force he has, and possibly that he indeed has territory in the new world that's large enough that has enough military force and enough influence that they have no choice but to accept that he is now a Yonko. I mean, hell, maybe he took over Whole Cake Island. I mean, that could also be a reason why they have established that he's a Yonko now. I mean, that's the thing, right? Again, it's not just about individual power. I think you have to be considered, say, a faction or a nation or one of the world's powers, and that's the entire point that they keep each other in check. And the Yonko versus the world government. Uh,
See, that's what we differ at because me personally, I think it's more of the individual power because there's several characters in the show that's pirates and they control entire nations and the world government don't see them as a threat at all. That's why I think that the reason why Blackbeard was selected as a Yonko was naturally because of his raw power that he has and the threat level that he has to the entire world and to the entire world government versus someone like Mihawk, where they don't fear Mihawk enough that he can destroy the entire world or or a nation or a country or something like that. But Blackbeard having the Quake fruit, if he ever mastered that fruit, it's said that he can destroy an entire island or someplace like that. So in the world government eyes, he's a bigger threat. His power is so great that they will make him as a cap. I mean, make him as a what you call it. The thing with Buggy, that's the whole rabbit hole and a joke and everything like that. Like we until we really find out how Buggy became a world government, because Buggy, for all we know, he can be a spy. He could be betraying somebody. He could be lying, doing whatever he needs
I
to.
know. No,
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why I said I'm not going to really go off for
yeah,
Buggy right now.
no, but
But
I do want to add to that because you said a threat to the world government, but Draken is a threat to the world government. But he's
but
not a
Dragon
young.
isn't a pirate. Dragon isn't a pirate.
Okay, but like Yonko, the term Yonko doesn't actually explicitly state that as a pirate, right?
Yes,
Um,
it does. That's exactly what the Yonko were. They're the pirate emperors.
but
A lot
Yonko,
of people just forgot that.
means four emperors, right? So anybody
Yeah,
could technically, I mean, they could declare the revolutionaries pirates, and they could do the same thing. So it doesn't really matter. But the thing
but
is
actually, it does matter because that's the way the story is written. The story is written that the revolutionaries they are not pirates. They don't associate with
no,
pirates.
no, no,
They
no,
don't. They have
yeah,
their
I
own way of
understand.
doing things and everything like that. And
Yeah, I
the
understand,
pirates
but
they have
there
four
are,
emperors,
yeah,
four strong
sure.
beings.
Can I finish? They
Yeah,
are a threat to the world government, but they're not considered to be on. They don't put them in that same position as they are as a Yonko. Even though Draken is very likely a very powerful individual. We don't know if he has devil fruit or whatever, but we know, and especially because of his heritage, right? He's the son of Garp and Luffy's father. He's probably one of the most powerful individuals in the One Piece world. I mean, we can pretty much be assured of that he is, and he has an army, and he has the ambition to, and he's overthrowing governments, and he has an ambition to overthrow the world government. So in that sense, he's also on a threat level. That you could call him a Yonko.
You just pushed it into my next point.
Yeah, I get that you don't want to call him that, but the point here is as well that it's not just because of an individual that plays a part of it, and of course if you're not a very powerful individual with which can on an individual basis form a threat to stability of the world government, etc., blah blah, right? Yeah, you wouldn't become a Yonko, but it's also what you do with it. Again, with Mihawk, I still think he's probably on a. I mean, he could be. I mean, if he had the ambition, right? If that man had the ambition to become a Yonko, he would have easily been one, or it would have been a Goku, whatever, right? If it's 5 emperors. I mean. I mean, he fought like with Shanks all the time, right? So we can sort of assume that he's on that level, but he has no ambition. I mean, yeah, he was Chichibukai, but even now they would never make him a Yonko because he probably will never, conquer islands or territory and get a crew. And the thing is, all these things that combine that make somebody get that title. Because again, with Buggy, like
you just made me remember something.
Yeah.
Remember what happened not too long ago. A certain event happened on a certain island with Blackbeard and Dragon. Remember Blackbeard attacked Dragon's home base and he destroyed the island? What if that's the exact incident that made him become an emperor? He did something that the world government couldn't do themselves. The world government has been hiding.
No.
Listen.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Listen.
No, but I want to correct you because he was already Yonko when he did that. He was already established with Yonko when he did, because it happened after the Dressrosa arc because what's his name? I forgot his name. The helmsman of the Blackbeard Pirates, because he snuck aboard a weapon shipment that the revolutionaries took from. I thought
at that point officially he wasn't named a Yonko yet. He was calling himself a Yonko, and certain people were saying that he has the power to become the next Yonko, but he wasn't called. He didn't officially become a Yonko yet.
I'm pretty sure he was a Yonko right after the time skip, right after the 2-year time skip. He was established as being a Yonko.
Yeah, but even if he was still a Yonko at that time, but what I was saying, he basically did something. The reason why now he's like we could say now he's still a Yonko, or the reason why he's a Yonko or still a Yonko, whatever like that, because he did something that the real government could never do themselves. He found Dragon, he attacked Dragon, he destroyed, and he basically made Dragon run away or whatever happened. We don't know what happened, but it's somehow Blackbeard's W over Dragon, and someone that the real government fears more than anyone else because he's doing something completely different. The difference between Dragon, the revolutionaries, and the pirates are doing whatever they want out of selfishness. They would take over a country like Crocodile. They would do all these evil, vile things. Then there's some that do good things and stuff like that. But Dragon's crew, they don't want anything from the people. They don't take anything. They don't ask for anything. Their whole purpose is just to free people from the government. So that's and that to the world government is the bigger threat. A pirate going in and trying to destroy a country they can just go in and kill the pirate and it's over. But what Dragon is doing, he's changing the people's mindset from the world government. So you can't just go in and beat just Dragon. Now you have to deal with the people too and try to get them back on your side. And if you can't get them on your side, you're gonna have to kill the people.
which I have no problem
So
with.
that's the reason why I know we know they have no problem with, but in the public eye, it's a problem. They can't just go around killing every country or doing stuff like that and keep making up ridiculous stories, especially when you have a group of people that's going around telling people the truth.
Well, I just looked it up. He was recognized as officially recognized as a Yonko after he won against the remnants of the Whitebeard pirates.
Okay, so was that before he just found Dragon and beat Dragon, or was that
No,
around
that was
the?
that was before. That happened
Okay,
actually
so
1 year after Marineford.
okay, but that still doesn't change the whole like individual powers too. But I will concede and just say both of us have valid points, and we'll just move on to the next topic or something like that.
If Omar's still awake.
No, I'm listening to you guys talking about it. I'm just listening.
Oh, sorry, we start rambling. It's like just
No, no,
getting
no.
deep
I
into
am
it.
not gonna sleep. I enjoy talking about One Piece and it's genuinely fascinating. I really wish Zero would make it, but I can't make it, so it's just us. And Jubei is Jubei, so it's again just us. So when you're with three people only, you're gonna be able to talk so much before you almost run out of ideas. But at what
Okay.
point is it fair to call out Oda for almost retconning or what's called plot holes?
What?
Let me
Should
explain.
have
Let
been
me
called him
explain
out
my
a long
point.
time ago.
Let me explain my point. So we didn't discuss it yet. The Tengu that was with Otama turned out to be Odin's father.
Yeah.
It was quote unquote almost like spoiled because the same voice actor of Odin's father was also
And
the
that,
voice actor for the Tengu in the anime. So that part one.
mhm.
Okay, so here's the thing. It doesn't make sense. For two reasons. One, they insinuated that he was poisoned. Two,
Mhm.
uh,
He should be
Orochi
like 90 something years old.
Orochi already poisoned someone. I don't know, that was Oroshi's father, grandfather, so not him. And the second one is, let's say they didn't poison him enough to kill him, and they threw him in that place where they are right now. How did he escape? So that's for me a plot hole. And the second is going to be how he's going to handle Greenball. It
Well,
if
that's
Luffy
not a
if
plot hole, though.
hmm?
Yeah, but you can't call Greenbow a plot hole if we don't know how he's gonna handle it.
Yeah, the events haven't happened yet with Green so we can't call
What I
that a
mean by
plot hole.
what I mean by that is this. Almost as in not plot hole but more like a retcon. Because Luffy said I'm never going to run away. So if he run away, then all that build up that we had against Fujitora was for nothing.
Hmm.
So I don't think he's gonna run away. It makes absolutely no sense for him to run away.
He
Something's going to
shouldn't.
happen. It's going to involve the Pluton, and I truly believe what's his name is Pluton. Momo.
Okay, Momo is Pluto?
Yeah, I truly believe Momo. Because remember, Momo was able of communicating with Zanisha. How?
I
It
thought it was just because of his Kozuki blood.
N-
Odin can hear
No,
the voice of all things too.
no
But but
one.
but Luffy
Odin.
Luffy has the same ability though. It's the voice of all things, and Gold Roger had that ability too. So that's
Yep.
completely different ability.
Oh, Momo ability resembles Shirahoshi very much.
Yeah, it's basically it's the same ability that Goldie Roger had and Luffy has.
Yep.
It's the voice
And
of all things. They can hear the Sea Kings and the great beasts talk.
no, with this one, I truly believe Zunisha and what's called um, the Sea Kings are the weapon of mass destruction. And you have Momo and Shueisha are the controllers that controls them.
I don't. I don't.
It makes
Yeah, I don't agree with Momo as the weapon. I
it
think
makes
Momo
sense
just has
though.
a more. He's just more conscious of the power over Shurihishi or Shurihoshi and Luffy.
It makes so far we have seen from Oda. This literally feels like if he doesn't, he needs to explain why Momo is able to communicate with Tanisha and
Yeah, he
why.
already did.
Sorry,
Yeah, but it's called the voice of all things. Of course, yeah, we have no
no,
explanation what it exactly is, but
uh, because Luffy can't
it has
come.
been given a name. It's not the same as an ancient weapon,
Yeah,
though.
So then he needs
yeah. The
to. So then, is he going to come up with a different word for voice of all thing, but different? Like, no matter which voice of all things say, how you gonna compare that to what Shuhoshi and Poseidon, I'm called Poseidon did? Like,
it's
it makes sense. It genuinely makes sense for Poseidon to being uh, the mermaid, which she turned out to be, and Momo for being Pluto. It just makes sense. And
mm-mm.
I truly believe that Battleship is just an add-on.
No, the battleship is the ancient weapon because Frankie had the blueprints from it, and the blueprints was some ancient blueprints. It wasn't. There was a one of a kind blueprints that Tom had
Yeah, I
inherited,
seen it.
and then Frankie had inherited.
The
The
question is,
the
can
abil- the
can
ability that yeah, I'm trying to explain. The ability that Momo uses is called the voice of all things. The only difference between him and Shuri Hoshi is consciousness. Momo, because of what happened with Zoe and the whole events of Wano, he's conscious about the power that he has built inside him from his bloodline. The Kozuki bloodline had that power. So Momo, now that everything that had happened to him, he's conscious with it. He has a connection with Zonisha because Zonisha has a connection with the Kozuki clan. So that's the reason why he could talk to Zonisha because of the connection between Zonisha and the Kozuki clan. Princess Shirahoshi, she can't use her power fully. But if she's ever aware of her power and she knows exactly how to use it and how to talk to the Sea Kings, she will have the ability to command them to do whatever she wants. But right now, she can't talk to them like openly because she doesn't know that she has that power yet. It's the same thing with Luffy. Luffy doesn't fully know that he has this power, but whenever it activates, he's like, "What? Who is that talking? What? Who is that?" And then he'll focus on the person, whatever voice he's talking to, and he'll talk to it. Gold Roger, he had the exact same power, but he himself even said that he doesn't know who he's talking to or what voices he's hearing. He just knows things.
hmm, we're gonna need to
So
wait
that's
on
the way
what
it is right
Oda
now.
gonna say about that.
Well,
Um,
I agree
yeah,
with you, Omar, that this is similar to what Shirahoshi has. So there's definitely a relationship there. But I think that because Poseidon was Shirahoshi and Pluton has been talked about as a battleship, that they're not necessarily means that all ancient weapons. I don't even know if there are other ancient weapons, but if
There's
they,
three of them.
yeah, which is
Yeah,
the third one?
since the beginning of the story, there's been three ancient weapons: Pluton, Neptune, and Uranus. Uranus is on the moon with Enel, but they never said what
Oh,
Uranus was.
yeah, okay. So that means that they're not essentially all the same thing, and it could
No, one of
be.
them, one of them at first people thought was Trident or something like that. They knew it had something to do with water because of Neptune, and the other one we found out that it was a battleship because of the blueprints with Frankie. And the
Oh yeah,
last one we found out
exactly.
in the one shots, the cover pictures and stuff like that. We found out
Mhm.
that the third power was called Uranus, and it was on the moon with the space people.
Yeah, so essentially that basically means that every ancient weapon with the name is something different. So could all be
Hmm.
part of a legacy of the same civilization. But yeah,
Hmm.
that doesn't mean that Pluton suddenly has to be the same as Poseidon. So I mean, it's a nice theory, Omar, but and I definitely think there's a relationship between Poseidon and the voice of all things. But I think Pluton is probably indeed just a battleship. I do agree with
Or
you
a
that
submarine.
it's yeah, that doesn't really matter
What if
really.
it's
If
yeah? What if it's a modern day submarine?
Well, already have one. They
No,
already
we
exist.
have a no. What I'm saying, what if that whole void center was basically modern day? So the Pluton is actually like a modern day submarine, not like long ship, but like a real submarine with nuclear missiles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I really hope it's not. I really hope it's
I hope it's not
it,
either, but it could be
fit,
that
fits
way.
yeah fits aesthetically within the. No, I say it's probably something advanced, but I'd say not let's say in within the style of One Piece universe. Not going to be suddenly like a
Well,
real submarine.
one thing we do know for sure, one thing we know for a fact that is a part of Pluton is the wood of Adam. Because Frankie said that the ship was made out of the rarest wood in the entire world, the wood of Adam. And that's the wood that Frankie was looking to make his own ultimate ship because of the Pluton ship was made out of the same wood.
Okay, so a few things to cover. Um, oh, so you guys, I have a link for information when it comes to green ball tattoos. You seen it?
No.
Nope.
I'm gonna drop the link right now. It's literally the chapter. You go under all the way down, and it's so basically the tattoo is like a suicide pact of two lovers. That was the meaning of his tattoo. And one of the CP agents that was playing, they referred to him as Goveno or something like that. That's a famous Picasso painting, and it was
Mm.
destroyed during the Nazi bombing. So all of this information can be found. Let me see where I put it. I just put it in the group. There you go. You open this tab and you scroll all the way down and you see the the note. And furthermore, we see Ryogoku, and apparently Ryogoku design is based on an acclaimed actor and music artist Harada Yoshio. His name Aramaki. So Aramaki is the name of Green Ball. Comes from the 1990 film Ronin Guy, where Harada plays a drunk Ichiro Ronin of the same name. The film also features the actors who are the inspiration for Kizaru and Fujitora, as well as the actor known as Bull. The film climax involves a redemption for Aramaki as he struggles to save a prostitute named Oshin from being executed by a corrupt samurai. The execution method involves balls too. And also, Aramaki is also a pun on seeding, which is an allusion to its power. So all of that is in that conversation. So yeah, you can actually see Kizaru and Greenball and what's his name? Fujitora actors all in that one movie. Which begs the question, maybe this is interesting. Maybe the prostitute is literally happened also in the anime, in the manga, and which is what, and it was killed by instead by now by a pirate, which makes him so angry about pirate for Grimbo. And for the word Alabasta, it makes sense to remove that and replace it with Arabasta because of the L and the R. Especially if you consider that Arab is the word for Arab nation. Well, just Arab person. And when you call Arabasta, it makes way more sense to be Arabasta than Alabasta. Because Arabasta is just way more, and especially if you know about the Arab history, it resembles everything that you've seen in what's called in Arabasta, basically. And the final point I'm going to mention is, well, that's about it. Anyone have anything else they want to add to this conversation?
No, I'm actually pretty good right now.
This was a
Yeah,
fantastic chapter.
we talked.
Do we know if a green ball hair is green or black?
It's green. There was a color panel, and his whole outfit is white and green.
Is it confirmed? Because they're calling him here right now black.
I don't know where the color panel was. I saw it on one of the manga sites, but he has green hair,
I am
and
watching.
I think it was that.
I am watching
It's in the
that
link that you
color
shared,
panel
but
right now, and it's not green, it's black. Well, it's greenish, but not that green. It's interesting.
well,
Yeah, go ahead.
it is. Yeah, to me, it looks like dark green, but I don't think that this is not official, right? This is a fan coloring.
Yeah. I learned my mistake when they fan colored Luffy as hair red, and I went with it, only to find out no, Luffy hair color is white. I
Yeah,
really wish Oda would put effort into what he is showcasing. If Green Ball his hair is black, then show it to us. Draw him as black character instead of with his hair color. If it's green, then draw it. Same with Luffy Bounty. This was the perfect opportunity to show us Luffy Bounty as white or black or whatever color you want to give the hair.
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. And yeah, this was a fantastic conversation. Also, Green Ball seems to be a samurai because he has a sword, katana, on his waist. And yeah, let's get into our outros unless someone has anything else you want to add.
no, I appreciate
Nope.
having me on
Then
again.
Dark Link, where people can find you.
You can find me on my Twitter, DarkLink999, or my YouTube channel, DarkLink999. where I do some Let's Plays and mostly just chill streams.
Nice. Weeb, where people can find you.
You can find me on Twitter as the Weep Chef, at Infant Rhizome, and on YouTube as Blue Rhizome.
Okay, and people can find me Karba_Shihab on Twitter, and Vitamin G podcast every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to Zero, he couldn't make it. Shout out to Jube, he also couldn't make it. And with that being said, I bid you adieu.
Bye.